Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Magpie Moonchild. This is your general read for the week ahead. Let's see what we've got for you. While I was shuffling the cards, you did actually have the Sun card at one point, and also the Knight of Pentacles. And the Sun is all about joy and happiness and freedom and lightness. And the Knight of Pentacles is about committing to hard work, making commitments. There was a child on the Sun card, so I don't know if maybe you've made a decision that this is the time for you to have a child. If that's the case, it looks like yes, indeed. This is, ironically, the Knight knows when to plant the seed. So maybe you feel like it's the right time to do that. But yeah, my real big takeaway from that was actually make hay while the sun shines. In other words, make sure when you're feeling productive that you go with it and you get as much done as you can. Obviously, don't burn yourself out, but ride the waves. Learn to be in tune with where your energy is and what you can achieve while it's in that space. But let's see what we've got. What have we got for Sagittarius? You have the Five of Cups, focusing on loss and disappointment, things that didn't work out, something precious. The loss of something precious. What did you lose that was precious? If this is to do with children and you've had a previous loss, that loss can be overwhelming to want to go back in and try again for another child, because you kind of don't want to build yourself up and put yourself in that position again, because it hurts so incredibly acutely that it's terrifying to open your heart up and do it again. But this is the card of please don't lose hope. Please realize that there are so many wonderful things in the world that you can find joy. I know it hurts right now, but there is joy. You just have to absolutely process how you're feeling right now. Process that hurt, process that pain, and that grief. And it is grief. It's true grief to lose a child or a baby or pregnancy. Well, if it's a pregnancy, it is a child. But yeah, it's incredibly painful, and preparing yourself emotionally toughen yourself up to go and do it again, with that fear that it could repeat itself is incredibly hard to break through. Yeah, it's decisions. The Queen of Swords is making that decision, right? The Queen of Swords also tends to detach herself from emotions. So this to me would be a very clear warning that you should, by all means, be processing those. Don't be afraid to feel, because we need to feel in order to heal. Okay, by shoving it in a cupboard doesn't do anything. It just shoving it away, pretending it's not there, it doesn't happen. It just becomes tomorrow's problem, but while it's in there, it kind of becomes more and more scary because you can't see it or deal with it or process it. It becomes a bigger job because you keep shoving other feelings in with it that you've got to still process as well, and then it's easier to process and not have to have a backlog of work to do effectively. But yeah, don't be afraid to feel. Don't be afraid to feel. This is also talking it through, having a safe space to talk and discuss it. So I don't know if maybe there's a support group that you can help you with it. Apologies for my husband chucking glass everywhere in the thing. But yeah, it is about finding someone that isn't going to. It has to be someone you talk to that is outside of the family. Outside of those that are in it with you right now. It has to be someone who is emotionally detached from the situation, that is willing to support you, absolutely, because the Queen of Swords is very aware that feelings are there and need to be taken into account, but they're not emotionally in it with you, if that makes sense. They want the best for you, but in a detached kind of way. So to me, this is either like a support group, somebody with previous experience, previous knowledge, and very aware and understanding of what that feels like, or just some sort of past trauma counsellor, grief counsellor, someone that is experienced in helping you navigate that trauma and bereavement. Yeah, because obviously you're at the very beginning of understanding what's happened, or what your feelings even mean, or you've got a lot to process and understand emotionally and mentally. But yeah, again, you've had the Ace of Pentacles come out, which is a seed and possible trying again. Like, But with the Ace of Pentacles, okay, it's an opportunity and to me this would suggest that yes, there will be a child in the future. But it's the Ace, so it hasn't been planted yet. That seed hasn't been planted yet. It's there and it's ready for you to, when you are ready, when the field is fertile enough and has the best environment, the best conditions for a seed to be planted in order for it to thrive and grow and come to full fruition through to the Ten of Pentacles in the suit, where everything's abundant and family and legacy and all that. Through the Pentacle suit. But this is the very beginning. This is the idea. This hasn't yet been planted. It hasn't yet come into physical being yet. It's full of potential. But when you take a seed, you don't just go, okay, I'm going to put it here in this field that has no water to nourish it. It has no nutrients in the ground to feed it, to help it thrive. It's just not going to be, it's just not, you would not do that. You would not plant that seed in a barren field. And by the way, that is nothing to do with anybody's fertility status. It's an analogy. What I'm saying is you need to make sure that when you go in for it, you are ready emotionally, because you need emotions, water, in order to nourish that seed, in order to be ready to love. No, you will love it regardless of what happens, but I just feel like you need to be emotionally ready to take that on again, to go into it, to emotionally strong enough, because you have incredible resilience, because obviously you've been through it and it was painful, acutely painful. It was hell, right? And this is just ensuring that you're ready to go in for that commitment again. You're willing to go in and take the emotional risk, and because sometimes we put ourselves into things and they don't work out, because not every seed that goes in to the ground becomes a plant, does it? So you have to be prepared to go into it again. Because I kind of feel like if you go in for it too early, like you're not emotionally ready for it, it could, and it didn't work out. I don't see that it doesn't, because normally an ace would imply that with hard work and effort it should pay off, but that's not always the case, is it? Not everything that, because you showered love and affection and hope and promise and everything and energy into the previous one or ones. But yeah, this is hope. This is here waiting. It's just, it's there when you're ready, is what I'm getting. This seed that is going to be successful is there when you're ready for it. And it's just saying, take the time to mourn. But please don't lose hope. Take the time to mourn, take the time to process, make sure you get the support you require in order to talk those feelings through, in order to process your thoughts and feelings, and ensure that you are as fit as you can be, ready to go in again, should you choose to. By the way, if I say that it's there and everything, and you choose to, you can take or leave anything in a tarot reading. It's your choice. You have the choice. You have free will to do as and what you wish. Follow a tarot reading. You should never give your power up to a tarot reading. But I'm just here with this energy saying it's absolutely painful and grief-stricken energy that needs processing. Because I would hate to think that you feel like there's no hope that it will ever happen for you, because this would imply that there is hope out there for you, that it will happen for you. Just because it hasn't happened yet, I mean, the potential is there for it to happen again when you're ready. So yeah, for me, that is, yeah, it's about healing. Healing is the biggest part of that, but not losing hope that it can still happen for you. Also, this is a seed. That doesn't mean that I didn't get the Empress come through, is kind of what I'm going with. So if you do discover that you can't physically have children, because I really felt like there was a big scream of, but I'm barren. And like I say, this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate absolutely with everybody, but this is a seed. This is a potential, an opportunity, a tangible opportunity that isn't quite in existence yet. So just because I didn't get the Empress come through, which to me would suggest that it doesn't have to be you physically carrying and giving birth to the child. It can very much be an opportunity for you to look at other options. If you feel like you can't go into it physically again, like if you can't bring yourself to physically carry the child and lose the child again, like that's just too much for you. You cannot put yourself physically or emotionally through that process of motherhood, or bringing a child into parenthood, and bringing a child in. There are other ways of doing it. There are surrogacy. Like they can take your egg, your seed, and you can put it in another field that is can do it for you. If you can't physically carry that child yourself, you can have a surrogate that can carry that for you. You can have, there's adoption, you know, or if you don't feel like, I don't know, there's fostering if you, as an option. And I just feel like this isn't the Empress, this is the Ace of Pentacles, which means there is an opportunity out there for you to be a parent. And as long as you're willing to, because adoption is not an easy process, pregnancy is not an easy process, surrogacy is not an easy process. They all have their elements of trial and tribulation in order for this seed, this child, to come into our life. They all have energy put into them, love poured into them, and it's just a different route. It doesn't make you are still a parent at the end of it. If you want to be a parent, there are so many ways to be a parent. It doesn't have to be physically within your body. It doesn't even have to be your DNA for you to be a parent to that child. It's a soul and two souls or three souls that are just there to say, I will love you unconditionally and you can rely on me, and I will help raise you and guide you the best way I know how. And I will pour so much unconditional love onto you. It doesn't have to be. But again, see, this can be legal stuff. Do you know what I mean? This can be adoption and somebody making an assessment on you in order to see if you are fit. I really feel like that's really horrible, that to go through adoption you have to be deemed wealthy enough or fit enough or but whereas you don't have to physically. That is just so frustrating in that sense. Absolutely, I'm all for making sure the child's going into a good home and a loving home, but it kind of feels restrictive. But yeah, this can be someone that's making an assessment on the fact that you are indeed worthy parents of this child, this abundant child, the baby basket. It's full of acorns and oaks and wheat and forget-me-nots. It's out there waiting for you. Your child, your child's soul is out there waiting for you, is what I'm getting. That sounds really like airy fairy or whatever, but the potential is there waiting. It's just waiting to come into your life. It's just about, you can be a parent without having to physically give birth to that child, or for that to even have your physical DNA, genetic material. You can be a parent without the other ways. I really hope that is of some use to you, Sagittarius. I don't know, that's very niche and I don't know who's supposed to hear that, but yeah, I hope that is of some use to you, and I will hopefully see you again next week, or for the monthlies because they're coming up. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.